Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be explaining the folklore love triangle. Specifically in this video I'll be talking about Cardigan, but go watch my other two videos about August and Betty. So let's get into this video. So this love triangle is has three songs including a Cardigan, Betty, and August. Okay, I like to think this kind of goes in order in a way, and it's about three characters. So our first character is Betty. She is very she's dating James. She's very I think she's a very smart girl. She's very sassy, I feel like, and she's always wearing a cardigan. And by the way, this is how I imagine the characters. And next we have is James. He's a little bit of a playboy. He's a little bit of a cheater. He's only 17. He knows nothing. If you can hear sarcasm, you can hear it in my voice. It's true. And then we have August. She is a girl who just accepts the bare minimum. She loves to fantasize a lot. And you know what? Justice for August. I feel bad for this girl. I feel bad for Betty, but I feel bad for this girl. James gets back with Betty, but look at this August girl here. I feel bad for her genuinely. So let's go and look at the Cardigan lyrics. Okay, so we're gonna be inspecting this each by each, and it'll explain a lot about it in the story. So first thing line is vintage tea, brand new phone, high heels on, cobblestones. Okay, so I bet the first line is about James, okay? And the second line, high heels on cobblestone, has a parallel to Betty. So this is in James POV, by the way. For Betty is in James POV, and Betty has her POV in the song Cardigan. So he says, James says, I was walking home on broken cobblestones. High heels can break cobblestones, okay? Next is, when you are young, they assume you know nothing. So she repeats this line a lot, okay? So don't mind me if I skip over it, but she talks about it a lot. So basically, people don't think Betty knows nothing about James cheating, but Betty's a very smart girl, like I told you. Sequin smile, black lipstick. I bet this is about August, not August. Okay. Oh my gosh, sensual politics, common. I predicted these fights. I predicted everything. Okay, so I think this girl I think Betty's honestly like a predictor. She knows everything. And when you're young, they assume you know nothing. So this is a little parallel to Betty, by the way. James is saying this. I'm only 17. I don't know anything, but I know I miss you. Okay. So they think just because James is a little bit of an idiot, or maybe I should be a little bit clueless, he knows nothing, that they think Betty knows nothing. Now let's go into the chorus. But I knew you, dancing in your Levi's, drunk under a street light. I knew you, hand under my sweatshirt, baby kiss it better. So this is kind of like Betty and James' relationship. I bet they've been together for such a long time, and then this is the past. Okay, so I bet she felt a little bit of a backstab. When she heard that James cheated on her. Boy. Mm-hmm. Honestly, James is literally the worst person in the world for this. And next, we're gonna go to reframe. And when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite. So an old cardigan is not good enough, not cared for. If you have an old piece of clothing, right? Like from your elementary school days, would you wear that? Okay, maybe you're in elementary school, who cares? But anyway, those old clothes, you don't really care about them. Just leave them, toss it on someone's bed, okay, under someone's bed or whatever. And that's how Betty felt. She felt like she was not cared for. She felt like, oh, you loved me and then you just tossed me away. Okay? And so James put her on and said I was her favorite. So she was like, and then when I felt like I was an old cardigan, I felt was not used, cared for, I you made me you put me on. Like, you made me feel like I was a favorite. You made me feel like I was good enough, you know? And honestly, I don't know what to say to that. I can't tell if James is the bad guy here. I think he is because he literally cheated on them. But yeah. Now we're going to go to verse 2. A friend to all is a friend to none. And I bet this is about fake friends or maybe a little bit about James. Chase two girls, lose the one. So those two girls are, of course, August and Betty. And the one is Betty because she considers herself the one. So Betty knows she's James's one, like true love. Honestly, I can't tell if this is cute or not. Okay. And when you're young, they assume you know nothing. It's like cheating acknowledgement, stuff like that. Or let's go into the chorus. But I knew you playing hide and seek, giving me your weekends. I knew you. So Betty knows James want her still, but I knew you. She repeats this a lot, like a lot. Okay? Give me your weekends. James spending time. He took time out of his day to be with her. So like I don't know, like this is basic boyfriend material, but I don't know about this guy. And then your heartbeat on the high line once in 20 lifetimes. Okay? So James' heartbeat gets high up with Betty. I think that's what it means, I bet. Or like you're about to get killed, like your heartbeat's like so high you're about to get killed. I don't know. And once in 20 lifetimes, first time out of anything, she felt like she was an old cardigan. Yeah. Now into the refrain part. And when I felt like I was an old cardigan, not appreciated for under someone's bed, thrown away like useless, you put me on and said I was your favorite. So Betty's the favorite out of August and Betty. That she's a favorite, and honestly, that's literally so sad. Like you shouldn't be being like my boyfriend, like I'm not my boyfriend's favorite cardigan. Like, okay, next you have is the bridge. To kiss in cars in downtown bars was all we needed. So, to spend time and show affection was all they needed to repair their relationship. You drew scars around my scars, so she's talking about James. I feel like she's directing this towards James. She was like she's addressing James. So James helped Betty feel better, helped her for her pain or whatever she struggled with. But now I'm bleeding. James like betrayed troubles to her. He added to the pain, or he either he's not there to like draw the stars around her scars. So he's gone and now her pain is still there and it's like intensifying. But now I'm bleeding. Cause I knew you, and this is in the chorus, stepping on the last train, marking me like a bloodstain. And this is my favorite line, by the way. So yeah, she repeats cause I knew you a lot, okay? Stepping on the last train, like betrayal, leaving, cheating. Mark me like a bloodstain. James cheating on Betty caused her to have pain. There's two meanings. Another one is James used her to make her feel better, but he's the one now to make her feel worse. I knew you, and I told you, she replays I knew you a lot. Then try to change the ending, Peter losing Wendy. So he referenced to Betty. James tries to change the ending. He's like, oh, come on, can I fix things between you and him, like James and Betty's relationship? Peter losing Wendy is true love. James losing Betty. So it's just like a little bit of a metaphor, I guess. Okay. I knew you. Okay. Leaving like a father, running like water. And when you were young, they assume you know nothing. Leaving like a father, leaving cheating on Betty, right? Running like water. How swift he ran away from her. Like, he ran, okay? When you're young, they assume you know nothing. So James underestimated her knowing about the cheating. He was like, oh, Betty's not gonna even know. Or like true love. Like a girl, she's gonna know. Okay, like don't cheat on anybody, guys. Okay, and now verse 3. But I knew you'd linger like a tattoo kiss. James James will always like wait for Betty, okay? So Betty knew James would come back to her. And I knew you'd haunt all of my what ifs. So James will always think about what could have happened with Betty, okay? Okay? He was thinking about it with the bed in August, okay? And the smell of smoke would hang around this long. James would wait a very long time for Betty, okay? It's like a metaphor. Because I knew everything when I was young, so Betty does know. Like, they're like, when you're young, they assume you know nothing. And then Betty's like, because I knew everything when I was young. I knew I'd curse you for the longest time. So she'd be very angry at James. But she's like, I know how to apologize to you eventually. So she's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to break up with James. No, I'll be mad at him for a while and then get back. And also, I think she should dump him, honestly. Like, a cheater is going to stay a cheater, in my opinion. So, yeah. And chasing shadows in the grocery line, Betty's shadow. James would James would always miss Betty, okay? I knew you'd miss me once the thrill expired. So this means August. So once August got boring, then she'd be like, bye bye. So Betty knew James would miss her once August got boring. And you'd be standing in my front porch light. And this is a parallel to Betty, a lot of parallels to Betty. If I showed up at your party, would you have me? Would you want me? And this is like in front porch, like her house, right? At her party. And I knew you'd come back to me. You'd come back to me. Betty always knew, and you'd come back to me, and you'd come back. When I felt like I was an old cardigan, like useless, stuff like that, right? Under someone Under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite. So Betty will always be James's favorite cardigan equals true love for the end. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. So please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and put your notification bell and send this video. Bye.